House of the Dead. So new details.
The house.
I went ahead and put this up because so there was a live stream. There was a Twitch live stream the other day, a few days ago, and this was, let's see, this was a I want to call out it was Fragments of Silicon, which is a podcast. They did a live stream and interview with Arthur, last name cannot pronounce, Gregos Inc. from Forever Entertainment.
Just call him Arthur from Forever Entertainment. That'll
right.
save us some
Arthur.
time.
There you go. Arthur from Forever Entertainment. Of course, they did a live stream, and of course, throughout the course of the live stream, he took questions and revealed a few new details about the game. And I did a little write-up here, and then I also released a TLDR update for folks who don't really want to have to read, but they just want like the bullet points. So essentially, it's built on Unity, same as Panzer Dragoon Remake, coming to first to Switch, but they're currently testing on 4 different platforms. By testing, I imagine they're just kind of like messing around and seeing how easily it can be ported to certain platforms. Likely there will be a Steam release, and that doesn't surprise us considering
Honestly,
what happened with Panzer. Go ahead.
Yeah, honestly, I think with the whole situation, I think maybe the Switch might be just the best console to play it on, just because of the ability to simulate the light guns and stuff on there. Because I don't think PC. I mean, maybe with PC with the mouse, that makes sense. But I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure how they're going to do that.
I can see the mouse clicking, but I don't know on the PS5 or the Xbox Series X. Might be kind of weird.
Let's see here. So likely coming to Steam. The UI has been redesigned and modernized. They're going to have a classic mode, which will consist of the original game remade, of course, with updated graphics. It was mentioned that there's no option to play the original code, the original House of the Dead, because sources are lost and it's quote unquote impossible to rip assets. Horde Mode is to be a fast pace with 15 times the number of enemies, unlockable characters, etc. So greater challenge for those who are like pros of the game and need more of a challenge. Nostalgic mode with lower polygon graphics is to be considered if there's enough demand. So it's not something that's in there yet, but they're they're doing it with Virtua Fighter 5, right? They've done it
with Saturn mode where it lags every single second and looks like garbage.
Yeah, I don't know. That would be very interesting if they did that. Remade voice acting will be purposely bad, quote unquote. So they're remaking the voice acting, and it's going to be purposefully bad. And I can only think when I think of that, I'm thinking like the game that they released on the Wii, that was like had a lot of swearing in it and something.
Overkill?
Yeah, Overkill. That was also purposefully bad.
What are you doing?
Someone actually asked, Gigaforce in the comments asked about the music and the soundtrack. They actually did say that the music will be extremely inspired by the original, but there won't be an option to listen to the original's OST. So take that as you will. HD rumble for gun shooting effects will be implemented. Several control options, including Joy-Con sticks and gyro controls. They get the ragdoll physics, when you shoot the enemies, like they pop back. That's a crucial part that will remain intact. Game demo may be considered, so it's not a guarantee that they'll put out a demo, but they may consider it if enough people request on Discord and Twitter. So get to Discord and Twitter and request a demo if you're interested. I see the team has worked with Sega, but they have not been in contact with AM1, the original developer. Not surprised. A lot of those folks probably aren't even around anymore. House of the Dead 1 and 2 remakes are planned as separate releases. They always were, I guess, from the beginning. And House of the Dead 2 is currently beginning development. So that's at least confirmed. They're starting on that process right now, probably just in the project planning phase. But there's no information as far as the release. But it's at least been confirmed that it's starting development. Crosshairs will be different colors. Oh, did you want to say something about that?
Yeah, just about the game in general. Yeah, I'm really excited for it. I think it might be the first step in trying to get all the House of the Deads ported, because I know 1 and 2. I know they have the source code for 3 upwards, but I don't know about 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Actually, I think they do have the source code for 2. I just don't think they have it for 1. because they ported the 2 to the Wii before, so hopefully by that time they had backup of the code.
Sorry, sending a quick text message.
Yeah. I can talk while you're doing that.
Yeah, I was just going to continue down the list so that we get everything else out, and then we can talk about it and sum it up. So you got different colored crosshairs for each player. The blood color can be changed, so I imagine you get the red and the green blood if you like it. Price will likely be within the $15 to $20 range. Reasonable.
It's not too bad.
For research, the team played the original game via original hardware and emulation. House of the Dead Remake improves daily and is currently in a, quote, better state today than Panzer Dragoon Remake was when launched. So that's good to hear that they already consider this game to be in a better state than Panzer Dragoon Remake was when it was launched, and it's unlikely the game will make an appearance at E3. And that's all we got. Yeah, you won't be able to cover that, but hey, if we get a demo though, if enough folks get on their Twitter and their Discord asking for a demo, maybe they'll have one available and you'll be able to cover it that way.
I'd be down.
Yeah. So Gigaforce, thanks for leaving a comment. Also, folks, our website, we have you can leave comments. So if you have questions regarding our articles, or you want to tell us that we're on crack and that we shouldn't be writing articles, it's totally fine. Just keep it.
I shouldn't be.
Keep it semi-civil, and and we'll try to do our best to answer your questions. So yeah, it was confirmed, for better or worse, that the original soundtrack, will not be available. However, they're doing an incredibly, what did they call it? Extremely inspired soundtrack.
I'm kind of down as long as they keep the mission 1. I still think was the mission 1 theme is the best song in that entire series.
Absolutely agree with you. Love it. Super huge feels and nostalgia for that. So yeah.
I'm excited to play it though. I know I'm a big House of the Dead fanboy, so I'm definitely gonna go get that and play that because
That's right.
I must have beat House of the Dead 2 like 100 times almost.
Yeah, I remember I wasn't with the podcast. I wasn't on the episode when you guys talked about the Halloween games. I think it was the second Halloween game episode that we did, and you were talking about House of the Dead, and I think you did say you weren't a huge fan of the Saturn game, right? But you really love the original arcade version, and you tend to want to play that on emulation versus the Saturn port, right? Which we can all agree is kind of could have definitely used some more time in the oven. For sure.
It's kind of a sadness though, because I love House of the Dead and it's one of my favorite games, but some of the stuff on the Saturn version just makes it unplayable. Absolutely
agree. And I mean, for the longest time,
was a struggle to play.
For the longest time, it was the only way you could play the original House of the Dead. So. This is a big deal for a lot of folks that really love that original game. And of course, news that they're doing the second one is great too, because of course, I think everybody agrees the second one improved. The second arcade game was awesome. So that'll be great, but it'll be really nice for folks to be able to play the first missions, which you really could only do on a Saturn before this. So good news.
Yeah. And honestly, I'm more excited to play 1 than 2 because I played 2 300 times.
Mm-hmm.
I only played House of the Dead only a handful of times going to arcades. So
yeah, I used to play it a lot at the movie theater, waiting for movie to start. There was this one.
See the Pokemon movie and shit.
Not that recent. Oh, you're talking about but see, I was not into Pokemon back then.
Oh,
full disclosure, yeah, no, I wish I had been. Because I was a little too old. I was in college, I guess, around that time, or going into college, and so it just didn't seem cool. But I knew people, I worked at a Circuit City at one point, and I knew a bunch of my coworkers were a little younger than me, and they were totally into Pokemon, and I was just I wasn't into it. And then now I'm super into it because my kid's into it. He kind of he pulled me into it,
reinvigorated your love for the Pokemon series.
Yeah, I think it's great. I think the entire series is excellent. I always had this idea, and I think sometimes as older gamers we can kind of do that with newer things, or things that are made for younger kids, that, oh my gosh, it's like this little game for kids, right? Like Yokai Watch. that was my opinion before I like tried it, and I was like, okay, Yokai Watch is awesome. I think this
Yeah, it's
the
a fun
cartoon
game.
is awesome, and the game is fun too. You know, so it's like not everything that looks like it's for kids is actually bad. You know, I mean, you got to try some of that stuff out. So yeah, I absolutely love Pokemon. I think it's great, but I'm a
deal.
late bloomer when it comes to getting into it. So for sure.